I'm not gonna lie, this is such a scummy thing to do, but I became a Jets fan for like 2 years. If you guys are looking for coins, check out my new sponsor, Ezmut. They've got the cheapest coins that you guys can find on all platforms. Use code JOCK for 5% off your order. Also follow them on Twitter. They'll be doing coin giveaways for the entire year. YouTube, what's up, boys? How we doing? Checking in on a Friday. Hopefully you guys have had a good week so far. Today we're gonna go over the cards I think should get Team Diamonds. EA revealed that Team Diamonds was coming out later next week. So I feel like, it'd be a pretty easy and cool video to go over some cards that I would like to see in game. And a little disclaimer before we start, these are cards I would like to see in the game. They're not really predictions. They've been in the game before. Maybe they haven't been in the game for a couple of years. And I'm not going to be naming any offensive linemen or I think interior defensive linemen for this video because I know you guys have all different NFL teams that you guys root for. And I don't want to make you guys watch an entire video, wait for your team just for me to say an offensive lineman. I feel like that's kind of unfair. So I'm going to go with a little bit more like exciting players would be hyped to see in the game. And before we get started, sub to the channel if you are new. Daily Madden videos throughout all of Madden 22. Say what's up down in the comments. Let me know if I missed any players or if you think there's a better player I could have said for a certain team. And don't forget to smash the like button. If we could get 50 likes, maybe no money spent tomorrow. But yeah, we can jump right into it. I'm going to go over my computer and just look up these names on Pro Football Reference, similar to what Gold Rush did. Shout out to him. He made this video, I think, a week ago. One more thing I want to mention is that we are going to be going over players that formerly played on teams that are not in the league anymore. So a couple years ago, I think it was Madden 19, they did Team Diamonds and they used current players. But I think last year and the year before that, it was Team Diamonds and Theme Diamonds. Both of those promos use players that played in the past. So this video is going to be all past players. If you guys do like this video, if we actually get some positive feedback on this video, I can make another one of these with present players because I made that list as well. I just kind of want to separate them into two different videos. And honestly, I'll probably post that video regardless. We're going to be going in alphabetical order for these teams. So first team I got's Arizona Cardinals, and it's going to be Pat Tillman. He was in the game, I think, 2 years ago as the Mutt Master or Level Master or something like that. His card was absolutely glitchy, absolutely cracked. So I think he'd be a great card to have in game right now. And I know he didn't play a long time. He did go into the military or the army or something like that, and he ended up passing away. RIP to Pat Tillman. But I feel like that would be an absolute sick card to have in game. Okay, the second guy on our list is going to be Atlanta Falcon John Abraham. He would also get Jets chems and Cardinals chems. For some reason, Pro Football Reference wasn't pulling this guy's page up. I don't know if my Wi-Fi is just bugged out or something like that, but we're on Wikipedia right now. John Abraham would be an absolutely gross card to have in game. I'm pretty sure he had, I forgot what promo it was, but he definitely had a card in the game last year that was really good. So this website's working again. I guess it was just that one dude, John Abraham. His page wasn't coming up for some reason. But next guy we've got Baltimore Raven, Terrell Suggs, linebacker, defensive end type player, 6'3", big body, 265. He would get Ravens chems, and he would get Arizona, and it looks like Kansas City as well. I did not know he played on Kansas City. But Terrell Suggs, another big name, I feel like could be a pretty good card in game, pretty good edge rusher for those theme teams, Baltimore, Arizona, and Kansas City. And next guy, Buffalo Bills, Bruce Smith, and he's 100% going to get a card in game this year. I absolutely know it. I'm having faith. I'm sticking to my faith. Bruce Smith would be an absolute dog for the Buffalo Bills. He also gets Washington chems, which would make the Washington theme team even better than it is right now. And Bruce Smith, Hall of Famer, I'm pretty sure all-time career sack leader. But Bruce Smith should definitely be getting a card this year, and what better time to give him a card than Team Diamonds, right? He's literally the diamond of the Bills franchise. Theoretically, I don't know if that's what EA is considering, but Bruce Smith needs a card. He's a dog. And I know Bruce Smith might be like more of a legend type player than a Team Diamond, but still, I feel like his name just needs to be out there. We've got to just speak that into existence. Next guy for the Carolina Panthers, sticking to this pass rusher theme we've got going here, Abraham Smith and now Julius Peppers. This dude was an absolute beast. He got an Ultimate Legend, I think, 2 years ago, but he would get Carolina chems, obviously, Chicago chems, Green Bay, and he went back to Carolina to finish out his career. But this guy's an absolute beast, 6'7", 295, usually one of the faster defensive ends in the game. He's kind of like a Montez Sweat type guy, or Chase Young, for you guys that have never used this Julius Peppers card in previous Maddens. But Julius Peppers is always a very fast, very solid pass rusher. And for the Bears, I've got Charles Tillman, 6'2", 210 corner. Very good size. Probably would end up getting pretty good speed for that position. He would get pretty much actually the same chems as Julius Peppers. Carolina, for his last year, he played, 12 games for Carolina, and then he had a long career, long tenure at Chicago. So, the one thing about these cards is EA does like to give these cards to players that have played on multiple teams. I have picked up on that trend over the last couple of years, but I feel like Peanut Tillman would just be an absolute baller in this game. And, definitely a name we got to see this year. How could I make this list without putting the GOAT in here? Taylor Mays, 6'3", 230-pound safety, played on the Bengals, the Raiders, and the Niners. So he gets Niners and Raiders, which is two really good theme teams. Bengals theme team is actually kind of slept on. I've got to take a look at that squad. Hopefully I can make a video with that team because they've got that Jamar Chase. They've got a couple other really good cards in the game right now, but Taylor Mays would be a beast. Then jumping over to the Browns, we've got our boy Josh Cribbs. Honestly, growing up for me, this is one of my favorite players in the league. He was probably the second best kick returner behind Devin Hester, but this dude was a beast. 6'1", 192 pounds. He was a receiver, mostly like a kick returner guy, but would definitely be kind of a gadget guy in some offenses in Madden. I could definitely see him running some drags or something like that, just taking like end arounds and stuff for your team. But he played on Cleveland and the Jets and also Indianapolis, so he'd get 3 theme teams as well. And like I said, EA loves giving guys cards that have played on multiple teams in their careers. Josh Cribbs, I think he got a team diamond 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But he's definitely been in the game before, and I could see him getting another card. And then taking a look at the Cowboys team diamond. There's a lot of big names that this card could go to, like Terrell Owens. I was honestly really contemplating Terrell Owens for this pick, and honestly, I put him on the thumbnail too, so I'm sorry for not choosing Terrell Owens, but he could pretty much be in this position as well. Charles Haley got a card last year. He's 6'5", 252 pounds, defensive end. Like I said, this could either be Haley, T.O. There's a ton of Niners guys, or not Niners, my mistake. There's a ton of Cowboys guys. Wow, some people are going to be pissed at me for that. There's a ton of Cowboys players that could get this card, but Haley would get Niners chem. He would also get Dallas chem. And he finished out his career on the Niners. So maybe this is more of a Niners guy, but Haley, I feel like, was a pretty good edge rusher last year. And I think the likeliness of us seeing him again this year, I think the chances are pretty good. And Denver Broncos, I've got Jay Cutler, which would be an absolutely electric card to have in Madden. He only played 3 years for the Broncos, so I don't know if that's even possible for being a team diamond. But he went 8-8 that, or no, actually, yeah, no, he went 8-8 that one year. But he played most of his career in Chicago, so I don't know if Jay Cutler could get a card, but with the only gunslinger quarterback being Zach Wilson right now, I feel like Jay Cutler would be a severe, or maybe not a severe, but a pretty good upgrade from that. Hopefully he would get a good throwing animation, but Jay Cutler, I feel like that's a shot name we just haven't seen in Madden for so long, probably since he played. I mean, why not? Might as well give it to Jay Cutler, right? Why not? So I threw him in the list. Maybe I'm just a big DN guy, but Robert Porcher, I had him last year on the Lions theme team, and he was a beast. And people are probably thinking, like, why wouldn't you pick like Night Train Lane or Barry Sanders or someone sick? I don't know. I genuinely just don't know. Robert Porcher played on the Lions his entire career for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years all in the Lions. This dude's a beast, man. You got to give him a card. That's my reasoning for all these guys. Is you just got to give him a card. Like EA, why would you not? Let's just overload the market, crash the market. In the 3rd week of September. So this dude, Charles Woodson, this is my Green Bay Packers pick. He already has that 85 overall like pre-order card that was in the game. And I feel like those cards are eventually going to get upgraded. I've actually got one more of those guys on this list. But Charles Woodson, I mean, you guys all know who he is, Hall of Famer. Played on Oakland, played on Green Bay, and finished out his career on Oakland. Played for a lot of years. Played till he was 39 years old. But this dude was an absolute dog. And I feel like this is a guy that is 100% going to get an upgrade eventually this year. Whether it's a legend or a team diamond, I don't know. But I feel like this dude is he's like waiting his turn in the queue right now for an upgraded MUT. So Charles Woodson for the Packers, I feel like that's a lock. You could also go with a guy like Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver. There's a ton of good Packers over the past like 10, 12 years. So, I mean, Charles Woodson, hey, why not? And then Mario Williams for the Houston Texans, 6'6", 300 pounds, just an absolute beefcake. Another defensive end. I was making this list and I just didn't think I had that many DNs. But I guess we're just rolling with the DNs today. Mario Williams would also help my Bills theme team out a little bit. But for the Houston Texans, I mean, he was a dog. What was his best year for sacks? He had 14 sacks his second year, 12 sacks his third year. On the Bills, he had 10, 13, 14. Like, he had a decent career, bro. Honestly, better career than Clowney probably so far. And Mario Williams, I feel, just would be a pretty good card to have in the game. Definitely a guy you can move from, like, DN to defensive tackle when you're rushing, maybe in, like, big nickel or something like that. But Mario Williams, definitely a guy that could get a card. I definitely like offense more than defense, especially this Madden, but looks like I'm just going defense heavy. For the Colts, we've got Robert Mathis, just an absolute beast. Played every single year of his career on the Colts, and he played till he was 35. So, I mean, we all know who this dude is. He won a Super Bowl, and holy shit, he had 19 and a half sacks in 2013. That is disgusting. That is disgusting. Well, I didn't even know. I feel like I knew that, but I didn't know that. Like when I hear Robert Mathis, I don't think 19 and a half sacks. Yeah, this dude definitely needs a card in the game. Okay, finally getting away from the DNs. MJD for the Jaguars. I mean, this dude is an absolute tank. 5'7", 210. Holy crap. He played on the Raiders his last year, so a lot of Raiders on this list. But he would get the Jags card, and I feel like he was in game for the draft promo last year. I feel like MJD deserves another card this Madden. Maybe not he probably wouldn't be featured on a lot of teams, but I know in my scheme where I run the ball up the gut, I would definitely hand that off to Maurice Jones-Drew at 5'7". He could, skirt underneath the offensive lineman for me. MJD needs a card, man. I feel like some people are going to get excited over this pick. I've got Jamal Charles for the Kansas City Chiefs. I know you could either go with him or probably Eric Berry, maybe Dwayne Bowe, or a couple other shot guys, Dante Hall, little guys like that. But I think Jamal Charles would be the best out of all those options. Although him and Eric Berry are pretty much on the same level for me. But Jamal Charles was an absolute dog. He had that 1 year where he went nuts. Where is that year? Touchdowns. Those receiving touchdowns. He had 19 touchdowns in 2013, and he had 1,300 yards receiving, 693 yards. Or no, my bad. I misspoke. 1,300 yards rushing and 700 yards receiving. So this dude absolutely balled out that year. For the Raiders, I'm going with Heisman winner wide receiver Tim Brown, 6 foot, 195 pounds. Would definitely be a decent speed card in the game. And he played on the Raiders, all the way until his final year. He played on Tampa. That is actually kind of shot. But like I said, he won a Heisman. He was an absolute beast in the league. All these years, over 1,000 yards. I feel like Tim Brown definitely deserves a card in game, whether for some of these guys, they could be legends, they could be ultimate legends, or team diamonds. And I think Tim Brown is definitely a valid pick for the Raiders. This is another dude that was a team of the week card last year or the year before. I keep getting the 2 years mixed up, but Quentin Jammer for the Chargers. He also played on Denver, so Denver's secondary will get even better. That team defense is definitely one of the best in the game right now. But for the Chargers, he played at least 10 years right here. What's his best year for interceptions? He had 4. He had a couple years with 4, probably a lot of pass breakups too. Where's passes defended? 19, 18 in back-to-back years. So 2005, 2006, Quentin Jammer was absolutely balling out. Maybe not the most electric pick for the Chargers. Actually just didn't mean that pun. That's kind of crazy. But Quentin Jammer, another guy that needs to be in the game. You could pick you could make a case for Antonio Cromartie here. That's probably a better option, a more exciting option. But I thought they were both in the game. So either him or Antonio Cromartie is going to be one of those two. I've got Kurt Warner for the Rams. He would also get Giants and Cardinals chems. And we've got Cutler and Warner. I think those are the only 2 quarterbacks I've got in this list. Actually, that's cap. I've got one more. But Kurt Warner would definitely be, maybe he would get Hot Route Master. I'm not too sure what the threshold is on that, but he's 6'2". Definitely a field general archetype type quarterback or something like that. But Kurt Warner, just a guy, needs to be in the game. I mean, that's all it is. He just got to be in the game. And for the Vikings, I've got Jared Allen. A lot of people are saying Jared Allen needs to be in the game. Not related to Josh Allen, but he played on the Chiefs, he played on the Vikings, played on Chicago, and also Carolina. So he would get all those chems. He would get a lot of theme team chems, 6'6", 270 defensive end. Another D end on the list, but Jared Allen's a guy that why has this dude not been in Madden the last couple of years? Genuinely why? For the New England Patriots, another guy that got one of those 85 overall legends from the pre-order bundle thing or whatever, Wes Welker. I mean, he played on Miami. Did he play? Yeah, he played on Miami. He played on the Chargers. He played on New England. He played on Denver. And he also played on the Rams. So this dude, I didn't know he was all over like that at the end of his career. But definitely most known for being on the Patriots when Brady was winning those rings. So I feel like Wes Welker could definitely weasel his way into this promo. I'm not a big fan of this dude, being a Bills fan, but it is what it is. Wes Welker had a great career. Definitely deserves a card. For the New Orleans Saints, I've got Drew Brees. He also played for the Chargers, as most of you guys know. And wouldn't be the best quarterback in game, but I mean, Drew Brees, it just feels weird not having him in game. And it feels weird thinking about how he's just retired. What? But Drew Brees played until he was 41. Dude absolutely lit it up down in New Orleans, and I feel like Drew Brees definitely will get a card this Madden, so why not just throw him in this list? Other guys, I think we could go like Deuce McAllister. We could go Tracy Porter. If there's any other Saints guys, let me know down in the comments. Maybe like a Marcus Colston or something like that. And then, of course, we've got to get a 6'5 receiver on the list. For the New York Giants, Plaxico Burress, he would also get Steelers chems, and he would also get Jets chems. I remember the one time after he shot himself in the leg, Stevie Johnson scored versus the Jets, and he did that celebration. Probably like a top 5 moment, top 5 memory for me in Bills history. But Plaxico Burress would be an absolute dog. 6'5", 230 pounds as a receiver. Would probably get to 90 speed, I'm assuming, if these cards are like 92, 93 overall. But Plaxico Burress would be a sick name to have in the game. And then, actually, I really hate to admit it, but when I was younger, one of my best friends was a really big Colts fan, and he had moved here from wherever, Indiana. I'm not even too sure where he moved from, but he was a big Colts fan. He liked Peyton Manning. And at that time, the Bills were really bad. So I kind of like, I'm not going to lie, this is such a scummy thing to do, but I became a Jets fan for like 2 years. LaDainian Tomlinson was on the team, Mark Sanchez, and this dude, Sean Green. And I remember I had a Sean Green jersey, I had a Thomas Jones jersey. I was like dead ass a Jets fan for like 2 years. I was probably like 9 and 10 years old. That's when they went to the AFC Championship and lost to the Patriots. But LT was one of my favorite players, and he was on the Jets. So I hate to admit that, but I mean, I've got to come clean. Sean Green used to be my boy. And he didn't even really play a long time. He played 4 years on the Jets and 2 years on Tennessee. I was just thinking of a guy to put on the Jets. And honestly, I could see like Santonio Holmes being here. But Sean Green would be an absolute dog. I mean, for no reason. He's just a heavy back. And, you know, those heavy backs in next gen, they move. They move like crazy. Put Bulldozer on him, I feel like this dude would be a GOAT. He would also get Titans chem. So him and Derrick Henry in the backfield. Good God. But Sean Green, valid option. You could also go like Jonathan Vilma maybe. And then for the Philadelphia Eagles, I've got Brent Selleck. You could also do a guy like maybe Namdi. I don't know how many years he played on the Eagles. But Brent Selleck was an absolute beast in the league. He played a long time, would get only Eagles chems. But he did play at least, 10 years on the Eagles. 6'4", 261 pounds. Definitely would be a good run-blocking tight end for all those runners out there. And I feel like Brent Selleck would be pretty valid in the game, right? For the Pittsburgh Steelers, I've got James Harrison. This dude's an absolute beast. I did not know his nickname was Debo. Right outside linebacker, 6 foot, 242 pounds. Would be a dog. He would get Pittsburgh chems. He would also get Cincinnati chems. I did not know he played in Cincy when he was 35. He would also get New England. And so New England, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati chems for James Harrison. This dude was just an absolute monster in the league. Would not want to run into this dude in an alleyway or at a bar or anything like that. He'd probably kick. Actually, no, he would definitely kick my ass. But James Harrison's a dog. He's got to be in the game. For the 49ers, I've got Navarro Bowman, middle linebacker. Him and Pat Willis were an absolute disgusting tandem. I would put Pat Willis in this spot, but I think he's definitely going to get either like a most feared card or probably a Legends card down the road. But Navarro Bowman would be an absolute dog. High hit power middle linebacker, 6'1", pretty good size. He would get Niners chems along with Oakland chems. I feel like all these dudes played on the Raiders at some point in their career. But Navarro Bowman would definitely be a great card to have in game. Now, I think we can all agree on this selection. For the Seattle Seahawks, I would absolutely love to see Marshawn Lynch beast mode in the game, man. He got drafted by the Bills. He played in Oakland as well as Seattle. And this guy would be an absolute dog to have. Like, if you could put armbar on this card, good Lord. This card would be so good. He was in the game 2 years ago. Wasn't in the game last year for some weird reason. But Beast Mode should definitely find his way into this Madden. I really hope he does. He'd be awesome on the Bills theme team, awesome on the Raiders theme team, and awesome on the Seattle Seahawks theme team as well. 3 really good theme teams. Marshawn Lynch, just please find your way into this Madden. And this is kind of like my backup plan if Marshawn can't find his way into the game. For the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I've got LeGarrette Blount, 6 foot, 247 pound running back. This dude would be a next-gen demon. He played on Tampa. He played on New England. He also played on Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Detroit. So he would be the theme team god. He would just be on pretty much half the theme. Or how many teams is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. He'd be on 5 different theme teams. LeGarrette Blount would be a problem on next gen. Like I said, being 247 pounds. There's no one knocking this dude backwards. LeGarrette Blount would be a sick card to have. Now, throwing it back, we've got Ken Houston, the 6'3" defensive back for the Tennessee Titans. They were the Houston Oilers at the time, I'm pretty sure, right? In 1967. God damn, that was a long time ago. But yeah, for the Houston Oilers, Ken Houston, now the Tennessee Titans. He also would get Washington Cam. This card, I think, had a legend 2 years ago. So I feel like Ken Houston will be a pretty cool card to see in this promo. Wrapping it up for all our teams, I also still have my master selection, but the very last team, Washington football team, also would help out my Bills theme team a little bit. London Fletcher, 5'10", 240-pound linebacker. He would get Rams Chem, Bills Chem, Washington Chem, and that's it. But this card was in the game last year, I believe. Yeah, I think he was a legend last year. And, he wasn't, like, amazing, but still definitely a valid card to have. London Fletcher would be pretty cool for this promo. You could also make the case for, like, RG3 because he is now retired or not on a team. I think he's an analyst now, but RG3 would be pretty cool right there. Or maybe Washington players, maybe like an Alfred Morris or something like that. Sean Taylor already has a card in game. I would say him. But or maybe like a DeAndre Hall. Is that his name? Or something Hall. But for the Master, I think Ronnie Lott's pretty much a lock for the Master. He was the Master 3. I think it was either 3 or 4 years ago. Madden 19, I think. But Ronnie Lott is always a promo card or a Legends card or Ultimate Legend or something like that. So I feel like Ronnie Lott would be pretty solid for this promo right here, Team Diamonds. But if he was the Master of this promo, I'm thinking it's either going to be a guy like him, Terrell Owens, Barry Sanders, or Dick Lane, Night Train Lane. Either of those guys could probably get the Master. I think Ronnie Lott has the best chances of that. He is a Hall of Famer, absolute beast, one of the GOATs. I feel like Ronnie Lott's a pretty safe choice for the Master for a good old Jock over here. That's going to wrap up our list, though. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, if I missed anyone or if you guys think someone else deserves to be in the promo, let me know down in the comments and we can chop it up. I respond to all of them. So, other than that, make sure you like the video. If you guys want to see a list like this, but with current players for maybe theme builders or team diamonds, because I think in Madden 19, they did team diamonds with current players. Like they had Jalen Ramsey, Le'Veon Bell, guys like that in there. Let me know down in the comments if we get good feedback on this video. I'll probably just post it regardless. But yeah, that being said, hopefully you guys enjoy your weekend. Jock signing.